If you're looking for a city EV that won't break the bank but still gives you everything you actually need, say hello to the 2026 Dacia Spring. This little electric hatchback has made waves since its debut, and now in its latest form, it's more stylish, more refined, and just a bit more grown-up. But don't worry, it hasn't lost that down-to-earth simplicity and value for money, appeal that made it a standout in the first place. Today, we're diving deep into what makes the new Spring not just one of the most affordable electric cars in Europe, but a smarter, more capable everyday runabout that punches way above its weight. Now, let's start with the design, because one of the most noticeable changes in the 2026 Spring is how it looks. The old model always had a kind of utilitarian charm, but this new version takes things up a notch. Dacia's new Y-shaped lighting signature gives it a modern, almost rugged face, with sharp LED headlamps and a cleaner, more confident front grille. It's still compact. Of course, that's part of its charm, but there's a bolder, more SUV-inspired stance to it now. The creased body panels add character, and new alloy wheel options actually give it a bit of flair. You get that raised ride height, protective plastic cladding around the arches, and roof rails that hint at a slightly adventurous side even if most buyers will stick to the tarmac. Honestly, it doesn't scream budget car anymore. It looks like it belongs on the road next to much pricier, compact EVs. Step inside, you'll find that the Spring is more functional than flashy, but that's kind of the point. This is a car that focuses on getting the basics right, and it does that with some smart updates for 2026. The dashboard layout is clean and well organized, with physical controls where you need them. Yes, actual knobs and buttons for things like climate control, which is a breath of fresh air in a world of increasingly touchscreen-heavy cars. The materials, still on the harder side, but there's been a noticeable step up in fit and finish. The seat fabric feels more durable, the panel gaps are tighter, and everything just feels better screwed together than before. For tech, the 2026 Spring finally embraces modern expectations. Higher trims come with a new 10-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's crisp and responsive, with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto baked in. It's intuitive and easy to use, not overloaded with features, but it gives you what you need. Even the base models get a smaller screen and Bluetooth connectivity, so you're never totally left behind. You'll also find USB ports, a digital instrument cluster, and optional extras like a reversing camera and rear parking sensors that make navigating tight city spaces a breeze. Comfort-wise, the front seats are decently supportive for daily drives. And while the rear is snug, it's usable for short trips or kids. The boot is surprisingly spacious for a car this size, around 290 liters. And you can fold the rear seats to carry bulkier items when needed. Under the hood, or rather, under the floor, you get a simple but efficient powertrain. The 2026 Dacia Spring comes with two electric motor options: a 45 horsepower version aimed at ultra-economical driving, and a new 65 horsepower variant that gives the Spring a welcome boost in performance. Now, 65 horsepower doesn't sound like a lot, and to be clear, this isn't a hot hatch, but in a car this light and compact, it actually feels peppy enough for daily city driving. Acceleration is brisk from 0 to 50 kilometers per hour, which is exactly where you want your power in an urban EV. The top speed sits at around 125 kilometers per hour, which is perfectly fine for the occasional highway stint, though it's definitely happiest in urban and suburban settings. The range has also been improved slightly thanks to battery refinements and better energy management, now offering up to around 225 kilometers of real-world range on a full charge, more than enough for most people's weekly commutes. Charging is also straightforward. Using a standard home wall box, you can charge it overnight. While DC fast charging is optional on higher trims and can get you from 20 to 80% in just under 45 minutes. And here's where the Spring really shines. It's incredibly efficient. Thanks to its lightweight build and modest motor, it sips electricity, keeping running costs low. If you're transitioning into EV ownership or want a second car for city use, this makes a strong case for itself. You might not expect a small electric city car like the Spring to have much in the way of off-road chops, but don't rule it out just yet. While it's not a full-blown off-roader by any means, that higher ground clearance, about 150 millimeters, the robust plastic cladding mean it can handle gravel roads, light trails, or snowy village drives with surprising ease. It's not about rock crawling, it's about versatility. For people living in rural areas or just wanting something more rugged than your average city EV, the Spring offers a reassuring level of gunny-wear attitude. Plus, its tight turning circle and narrow body make it fantastic in tight European city streets and parking spots. On the safety front, the 2026 Spring steps things up as well. Dacia has integrated more advanced driver assist systems into the new model. Features like automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, and traffic sign recognition are now available even on mid-tier trims. Stability control, hill start assist, and tire pressure monitoring come standard. And the structure itself has been reinforced for better crash protection. While it's not brimming with high-end autonomous tech, the essentials are all there, and for the price point, that's a win. Dacia is clearly focused on giving you peace of mind without pushing up the price unnecessarily. Speaking of trims and pricing, Dacia knows its audience well. The 2026 Spring remains one of the most affordable EVs in Europe. The base model starts at a figure that undercuts nearly every other electric car on the market. And even when you step up to the higher trims like the Expression or Extreme, you're still looking at a price tag that's thousands less than what most mainstream brands charge for their entry-level EVs. And the best part? You're not giving up the essentials. The mid-range trims hit the sweet spot with a 65 HP motor, larger touchscreen, fast charging capability, and a few cosmetic upgrades. It's value-driven in the best possible way. You don't pay for what you don't need on. That's the Dacia promise. So what's the final word on the 2026 Dacia Spring? Well, it's not trying to be something it's not. It's not here to impress the Tesla crowd or compete with high-end EVs. Instead, it delivers exactly what most everyday drivers need: affordable, reliable, and genuinely usable electric mobility. It's better looking than ever, more refined inside, and surprisingly enjoyable to drive in the city. With stronger performance, smart tech upgrades, and just enough rugged charm to feel like more than a city car, the Spring proves that electric mobility doesn't have to come with a premium badge or an inflated price tag. If you're on a budget but don't want to compromise on quality or practicality, the Dacia Spring deserves a serious look. It's one of those cars that makes EV ownership not just possible, but easy and kind of fun to dot. Thanks for watching. If you found this review helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Got questions about the Spring or thoughts on budget EVs in general? Drop them in the comments side. Love to hear what you think. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more honest, detailed car reviews every week. Until next time, drive safe and stay curious.